Emanuel Lasker, the world chess champion for 27 years, once said, "If there are intelligent beings on other planets, they're probably playing Go." Strange, right? A legend of chess, admitting there's a game even more mysterious, even more difficult than the so-called game of kings. That game is Go, and if you've never heard of it, you're not alone. Simple rules, infinite depth. And that's why for centuries, people have asked the same question: is Go actually harder than chess? So what makes Go so different? Let's slow down and break it apart. Imagine a wooden board with 19 lines running one way and 19 lines the other. Where they cross, you have 361 points, every single one a possible move. Instead of kings and queens, both players use identical stones, one side black, the other white. The rules are shockingly simple. You place a stone on an empty point. You surround territory. Whoever controls the most space at the end wins. That's it. No checkmate. No royal hierarchy. Just pure territory control. But here's the catch: from those childlike rules explodes a universe of complexity. Every stone you place can ripple across the entire board, shaping battles in the corners, edges, and center all at once. What looks simple on the surface is, in truth, one of the deepest strategy games humanity has ever created.
They have that same discussion about Go, right?
Well, Go is much more complicated than than chess. So I don't know what has happened since AlphaGo. If like the best masters are still a little bit better, or where the state is at.
And that's where the real question starts. How does this simple game manage to outstrip chess in difficulty? Claude Shannon, the father of information theory, once calculated the number of possible chess positions. The result, now called the Shannon number, is about 10 to the power of 47. That's a mind-bending figure, but Go laughs at it, because in Go, the number of possible positions isn't 10 to the 47. It's closer to 10 to the 170. That's a number so enormous, it's bigger than the estimated number of atoms in the observable universe. Just think about that. Every Go board is like an entire cosmos waiting to unfold. And this difference has very real consequences. In 1997, IBM's Deep Blue used sheer brute force and clever heuristics to defeat Garry Kasparov. Computers solved chess faster than anyone expected, but Go, no machine could touch it until nearly 20 years later, when DeepMind's AlphaGo finally stunned the world by beating Lee Sedol, one of the strongest players alive. That gap, almost 2 decades, shows just how much more daunting Go's complexity really is. And yet numbers are just one part of the story. The real challenge of Go lies in how strategy plays out across the board, move by move. Chess feels sharp, tactical, often about immediate threats: protect the king, launch an attack, calculate forced mates. The focus is tight, the battle's usually local. Go is something else entirely. Every stone you place doesn't just matter in one corner. It shifts the balance of the entire board. A move that looks harmless early on can decide who wins 200 turns later. Strategy in Go is like casting ripples on a pond, except the pond is massive, and the ripples never stop colliding. And here's the brutal truth: in chess, one mistake might cost you a piece. In Go, one mistake can slowly unravel everything you've built, spreading across the board until your territory collapses. It's like trying to play 4 different battles at once, while also keeping an eye on the entire war. That's why players describe Go not just as a game, but as a test of vision, patience, and discipline. And it's this need for long-term balance that makes Go uniquely difficult, not just to play, but to truly master. Chess feels like war in miniature: kings, queens, pawns, a battle for survival, with a clear finish line: checkmate. The psychology is sharp, tactical, and immediate. Go comes from a different world. No royal pieces, no sudden death: checkmate. Instead, it's about patience, balance, and influence. You fight across the whole board, but victory comes not with a single strike. It comes with quiet inevitability. Often games end with margins as thin as half a point. Imagine hundreds of moves of focus, only to lose by a fraction. That cultural split matters. Chess embodies Western ideas of direct conflict, while Go mirrors Eastern philosophy, flow, encirclement, and long-term balance. It feels less like winning a battle and more like shifting the harmony of an entire landscape. And this cultural and psychological depth makes Go not just harder, but fundamentally different. Which leads us to another question: if even humans struggle, how do computers fare? Go was different. The sheer number of possibilities made brute force useless. For years, the strongest Go programs were embarrassingly weak compared to top professionals. Humans remained untouchable. That changed in 2016. DeepMind's AlphaGo, powered not by brute force, but by neural networks, and deep learning shocked the world by defeating Lee Sedol, one of the greatest Go players of his generation. It was more than a technological milestone. It was proof that Go's difficulty had humbled machines for far longer than chess ever did. And in that victory, AlphaGo didn't just beat a human. It revealed something deeper, that Go's complexity lives at the edge of human intuition, where calculation alone can't save you. But the final question remains, is Go truly harder or just different? So is Go really harder than chess? In one sense, yes. The numbers are astronomical, the strategies span the entire board, and even machines struggled to keep up for decades. Go demands patience, balance, and vision on a scale chess doesn't always require. But here's the twist. Chess has its own brutal edge. The pressure of checkmate, the precision of endgames, the explosive tactics, these make it uniquely punishing in ways Go can't match. Each game pushes the mind differently. Maybe the real answer isn't which one is harder, but what they reveal. Chess shows us the intensity of direct conflict. Go shows us the depth of subtle influence. One is a battlefield, the other a universe.